So Paris Hilton is taking some of the blame for the selfie-obsessed society that we've now become. In her new documentary, This is Paris, she admits guilt over the way young girls are obsessed with social media today. Watch.
And now I see even little girls who are 10 years old, 9 years old, and they're trying to get the perfect selfie. They're putting the filters on. They can't even look at themselves in the phone without putting a filter. I can't even imagine being like a 13-year-old girl today.
Do you feel responsible for it? I mean, many people have said you're the architect of that.
I do feel responsible for it.
In the YouTube doc, Paris also tells her sister Nikki she hasn't been on vacation since she was 15 because she works nonstop. Now, some fans, however, are calling her out considering she's always posting images from exotic locations. Well, those are work trips, people. I just have to say, like, the girl is a hustler. You can like her, you can not like her, but she's constantly working. And unfortunately, when a lot of these influencers and celebrities are working, they do have to go to different locales. I mean, I don't know, or Jeff, am I wrong for saying that? Do you think that she was lying in the documentary?
No, you know what, Sam? I kind of changed my tune on Paris Hilton because she is a hustler. It's not her fault she was born, and she was with a silver spoon in her mouth. I mean, she's the daughter of the Hiltons. Obviously, she's got some money, but she's turned that into an empire herself. I do give her a lot of credit, and you know what? Growing up is a part of that. When you're younger, that's hot, you take selfies, and that's the image you portray, and then you grow up, and then you're like, what was I doing when I was 20 years old? I wasn't, listen, she's learning, and I'm proud of her for doing that.
Erica?
I just find the traveling conversation to be so funny because I used to feel like, oh, if I could just go to these, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm here. Everyone around me is having the time of their life, and I am cooped up, like, working and not outside, and it like almost is kind of like it's a double-edged sword because you're like technically there, but you see like the airport and like maybe a hotel.
It's true, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, and I do think that you guys all should watch the documentary because not only do you see those little, scenes that we just saw you where she comes off very vulnerable, very transparent, but she opens up of a lot of abuse that she endured at a boarding school, and at this boarding school that she was at for years. She actually had to go to a few different boarding schools because she would run away. She suffered physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse. So, and she says that, even now when she looks around at her material world, she's not happy.
And I do want to say, because I know people are rolling their eyes like, oh, boarding school was so bad. This wasn't a boarding school. This was a program, right? And I know I had friends in high school who experienced this. I know people who have experienced this who are now speaking out about it. And I think it's really time that we stop calling these places boarding schools because they were absolutely prisons for young people.
Well said.
So
yeah, she was in solitary confinement, naked. So let's just remember that. And I beg you to check out the documentary before you form an opinion.